Good afternoon, everyone. So, for today, our topic is interview skills. So, what happens is most of us might have a query that, Madam, we might be doing a job, we might be opening our own business. Why interview skills? Remember, whether you are going to take up a job or you are going to do a business, you are supposed to do it collaboratively. You may be skilled enough, you may be very sharp, very intelligent, doing a lot of work and job, but you cannot do your work alone, right? As I have already been telling that you cannot work alone in this world. You have to collaborate with people having different skills, different specializations. You have to work with them. So whether you are going to go for a job or whether you're going to go for a business, you require experience about whom to hire as well and how to hire yourself. Okay, two things that we require to do. That's why we'll be talking about the skills that we require about interview. Now, usually, an interview is actually a process that has been used most commonly and most widely for screening potential employees. Screening potential employees. When I say screening, it does not mean that when you give or take an interview, you will be 100% selected. There is a chance that is given to you. Moreover, interview of a person would occur only in a case when we've already cleared the written test, you have also cleared the group discussion round, and then you come for the interview. Now, after clearing two stages related to interview, why is it required, or why do you require to have a personal interview? It actually gives a first hand experience of the potential employee and the employer to each other. You get to know the person better. You know about the person's background, personality, and skills. Speaking in a more simpler manner, interview or personal interviews are formal meetings where question answers are exchanged to find out whether a person is suitable for a job or a course of study. Remember, I have used the word a course of study over here because if you have an idea about or if you have heard about higher education, when I say higher education, it could be the master's program or the doctorate program. What so happens is you're not directly given an admission. There's a small interview that is taken to test your knowledge and skills and eligibility for that particular course that you wish to apply for. Right? Then and then only, you will be given an admission and you can move forward. That's why a job or a course of study is what has been mentioned over here. Now, what is the purpose? You should always know the purpose. So the first purpose that could be is selection. As I said, for a job selection, it is one of the most important ways of selecting an appropriate candidate for a job. Then promotion. In the promotion as well, when you are due for a promotion, an interview would be taken. Now here interviews, when they are taken for the sake of a promotion, they're taken so that we can find out whether whether the candidate has actually worked hard for his worked hard for getting this promotion or not. There are some of the skills that they are testing over here while giving a promotion as well. Next, performance appraisal, to put it into simple words, they actually mean increments, right? Performance appraisals interview are a chance for the employers to see whether the work which has been claimed by the person, has it been actually done by the person or not, and how much more potential the person has, and how much more potential the person has is what is checked over here in interview, like in the performance appraisal. Exit opinions. Exit opinion interviews happen in a case where uh, somebody is, after serving a particular company for a longer duration of time, you want to change your company. So they want to really know from you what are the reasons that you are making a decision in a life to change your company after serving a certain company for a long duration of time. Moreover, it also helps to know, uh, as I said, every company, whenever it is established to grow. It wants to grow and sustain in the market for a longer duration of time. So what can be possibly done in that case? In such a case, you can possibly try to find out how to improvise, and exit opinion interviews are meant for improvisation. They are meant for improvisation of the organization, so that the organization can grow potentially well, right? And then counseling. Here I'd like to state a beautiful example, a step that Marwadi University has been doing. You have got mentors, right? You have got mentors, where mentors would be asking you questions, you'll be answering questions. That is also one kind of an interview that takes place, right? They'll be asking you, how is the um, studies going on, are you finding any difficulty, do you have any other problems that you are facing, etc. So one of the purposes of interview could be counseling as well. Next, the very first thing or the very first thought that comes in our mind when we talk about interviews is nervousness. Now, let me give you an example over here about talking about nervousness. Is that a person may be good at technical knowledge, may be good with communication, but sometimes because in the interview you do not know the person, because in the interview you are not aware about who is going to take the interview, this kind of thoughts might create a nervousness in the mind of any person. Not only you, but anybody could face this situation. Now in such a situation, what happens is, it's not that the lack of technical knowledge that harms or hinders the progress of the person, but it is moving out of the comfort zone, right? Moving out of the comfort zone that hinders the progress of the person, and the person might, I'm saying not everybody, but somebody might not perform well. A person might not be able to perform well due to the nervousness in his mind, in his or her mind. So the very first step before we go into interviews, we should know how to handle nervousness. Excuse me for that. We should know how to handle nervousness. Now, what are you supposed to do in that case? So there is a small technique which is known as the rowboat technique, right? Remember the word. This word is very important from the exam point of view. Please remember the word. It is really important from the exam point of view. So what is this technique? We might have a doubt. Okay, what is this technique she's talking about? Something new, something very hard? No, it's not new, it's not hard. It's very simple, and we have been doing it, but we just need to know the jargon or the word or the name. So rowboat technique. Rowboat technique is a breathing technique, okay, where you contract and expand your stomach with your breathing. It's a rhythmic contraction expansion of the stomach with breathing, right? That is what happens in the rowboat technique. So breathe in and out, deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Deep breathing is what is expected over here. What happens is, when you breathe or when you do exercises related to breathing, your mind gets a lot of oxygen and you feel a little relaxed, right? We need to relax yourself. Moreover, understand, because you are technically sound, because you are technically sound. Always remember, you'll be able to answer it well if you listen carefully. So one of the other ways of working well in an interview is listening carefully. You have to listen to what question has been asked. Half the times what happens is we miss the information. We miss the information because we don't listen. We miss what is being said because we don't listen. Okay, so that's one of the ways where you can, or you should listen well. You should try and focus on what is being said, so that you can answer the question well. And if you answer question well, automatically your nervousness would disappear. Next, please note this as an important question from the exam point of view. Please note this as an important question from the examination point of view. Which are the four major types? The four major types of job interviews. Remember, we are talking about job interviews over here. So which are the four major types of job interviews? So these are the four major types which are mentioned over here. Campus interviews, on-site interviews, telephone or telephonic interviews, and video conference interviews. So what is a campus interview? You are all very well aware about it. The interviews that are conducted in the campuses of colleges or universities are termed as campus interviews, right? We have been having different companies come to our campus, have an interview, and select candidates from our campus. In this case, the companies inform the students in advance. They might also have a little pre-placement talk, or they'll have a presentation before they start the interview process. They'll talk to you about their company with the help of a presentation, right? What else? In a campus interview, usually these kind of interviews are very much related to time. They look into time more, and so they are little to the point and brief. Next, on-site interview. What is an on-site interview? An on-site interview is an interview that is taken at the company's premises, on the company's premises. That is, instead of the company coming to the college, it's the students who go to the campus of the company and work there. This kind of interviews usually are arranged after going to the resume of the students or the candidates, and shortlisting candidates on the basis of resume is one of the procedures that precedes this interview. These interviews are held after shortlisting, and then formally informing the candidates that you have been shortlisted and your interview is going to be held on the so-called date, time, and place. Usually, if you compare campus interviews to on-site interviews, uh, campus interviews are brief and short, whereas on-site interviews are more detailed in nature. The reason being because they are on their campus, they are deciding how many candidates per day. But when they are on the campus, it's the university that decides how many candidates per day. That's why this difference is there over here. Next, telephonic interviews. Interviews that are carried or called conducted over telephones are known as telephonic interviews. In these cases, candidates are shortlisted, and they are informed priorly about the day, date, and time which is convenient to both the parties for the interview. Usually, they are shorter than face to face interviews. Here, please mark this as an important MCQ from MCQ exam point of view. When they say face to face exam, face to face interviews, sorry, they mean to say not only campus interviews but also on site interviews. Remember, both of them are face to face, where you can see the candidate as well as you can see the person who's going to take the interview, right? So here by face to face we mean to say that an interview that is conducted on the campus as well as on site as well, right? So comparatively these interviews are shorter than both campus interviews as well as on site interviews. And the last kind of an interview for a job selection process is the video conference interview. It is more similar to, excuse me, it is more similar like campus interviews and on-site interviews, that is face-to-face interviews, but with a touch of technology. Usually such kind of interviews are held by multinational companies. Usually such kind of interviews are held by multinational companies and usually for higher posts, right? Such kind of interviews are derived or used by multinational companies for hiring people of higher post. In such kind of interviews what so happens is a person is informed beforehand, a prior communication is made to the person, and then the interviews are held. There are different mediums that you can use for conferencing, video conferencing. A few which we are using right now could be Skype, Google Meet, Zoom, Hangout, etc. Now this is a different kind of an interview, but it is related to workplace. Remember, media interview, this word is very important for us. Also mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Media interviews are not the interviews that give anybody a job, but they are related to workplace, and that is why we need to know about them. A media interview is usually used for the promotion of products, government policies, or to create awareness or to run a campaign. Okay, these are used for this purpose. Because promoting products is an important part of any organization, media interviews are what we should know about it. But remember, it is not a type of job interview. Now here what happens is media personals get prior appointment for the interview by media personnel. To say it in a simpler form, it would be a news reporter. Here the focus in this kind of interview, the focus will always lay on the topic. You will not be moving away from the topic in any situation. In any case, you are not supposed to move out of the topic, right? So staying within the topic is what is advised here in media interviews. Moreover, media interviews are not like job interviews. One of the other reasons is because in a media interview, whatever you say is publicly available for the public to view for end number of times, right? As many times as you want, you can view anybody's public interview. But a personal interview for a job, when it is held, it stays in between the interviewer and the interviewee, right? When I say the interviewer and the interviewee, the person who has taken the interview and the person who is giving the interview, the things stay in between these two people only. That is why their small mistakes are acceptable in case of uh, personal interviews, but in case of a media interview, even the smallest mistake cannot be acceptable because it becomes a public issue very soon. Things are done or things are said in front of public, and that is why there should not be any mistake. There should not be do not have scope of any mistake in case of a media interview. Over here, it is advised whenever there is a media interview, you as a person or a representative of any company, what you should do is you should think before you answer, because you are making a public statement. Always try to carry a positive aura. Always carry a positive aura, a positive attitude, which is reflected in your words as well as in your body language as well. Do not try to force the media to understand what you are saying. Try and give simpler examples in this case. So we have a reconnecting question here. Telephonic interviews are more detailed than campus interviews. You may give your answer in the chat box. Is the statement true or false? Excellent. Most of you have answered it correct. The statement is false. Why? Remember, I do not wish to see your creative work. Remember, on the telephone, as I told, they are shorter than campus interviews or they are shorter than face to face interviews. Okay. Next, preparing for an interview. How do you prepare for an interview? The first thing is you should know yourself. By knowing yourself, I mean what kind of skills and abilities should you represent when you are appearing for a particular kind of an interview. Remember when we were writing resumes, there also I have repeatedly informed that you cannot have the same resume for each and every company that you are applying for. You have to tailor make your resume every time you appear for an you have to tailor make your resume every time you appear for an interview for any company, right? You cannot be just having the same having the same resume every time. You cannot have that. Why? Because every company's requirement is different. That is why every time when you make a resume, you have to make a few changes. You have to highlight the skills required for one particular kind of a job, right? You cannot have the same set of skills for every job that you apply for, right? Moreover, whatever skills you are talking about, you should always be able to give examples for your skills. Let's say you did a project, what kind of skills did you display in your project, etc. Next, know the employer. Here you should show your interest by researching a little about the company for which you are going to apply for the job. So research is what is required. I got a question in the chat box. Don't rush into it. We're going to discuss the questions as well. Okay, it is scheduled as we move forward, right? So why do you need to know what the company or who the company is? You need to know this because when the company wants to hire someone, they also want you to know their company as well, what kind of projects the company is working, what kind of skills that the company is looking forward in a potential employee, right? So you should know about the company because you are supposed to work in that company. Are you, or is it feasible enough for you to work in that company, is what you are supposed to decide. That's why you need to also look into what the company is all about. So how do you prepare for the interview? These are the 4 ways you have to prepare for the interview. First is the situational knowledge. That means where and when is the interview going to take place, and it is best to arrive a little early, it is best to arrive a little early than the time that has been provided to you. Okay, you should arrive early to the place of interview on the said date and said time, or the fixed date and fixed time that you have been allocated. Next, physical preparation. By physical preparation, we not only mean dressing up well, but also we mean to have proper rest so that you look fresh for the interview. You should look fresh. You should not look as if you have been studying only last night for the interview, you are not prepared, and things like that should not be reflected from your physical appearance. Dress for success. Okay, always keep in mind that you have been preparing for it. Yes, it is not necessary that every time you will get the job or you will be able to crack the interview, but every time would be a new learning experience that you will have. So keep those things in mind when you go for your interview. Take, or always carry a positive aura about things so that it will also reflect positivity in you as well, right? Next, mental preparation. As we have already mentioned, not only preparation or practice of a mock interview, but also a research about the company would be helpful. Now, apart from then that, what do you need to be prepared with? You need to be prepared with having extra copies of your resume, your cover letter, your references. You should carry a few blank papers to make notes. Never forget to carry your pen. No, it does not look good if you are asking the interviewer for a pen if you are asked to sign a document or something. And make sure, always remember, we have been talking about this from unit number 1, that communication is a two-way process. Communication is a two-way process, so make sure you ask questions. So what kind of questions should an candidate ask is we will be discussing further. Do not worry, we'll be discussing step by step. So please ask questions. Now the stages of the interview, how the interview works. Stage 1 is the icebreaker, where you do the greetings, you wish the person, and you talk a little about yourself. That's the self introduction part. It is also known as or termed as the icebreaker section or the icebreaker stage of a interview. Next is the personal qualification and the interest in the position. So how did you come to know about the position? Why does this kind of a position interest you is what you are going to talk about over here. You need to let the employer know that you are genuinely interested and you are willing to uh, work hard to achieve success in that particular position or in that particular role. Also try to relate the works that you have done, like projects or internship programs that you have taken, that would be helpful for you to work in that particular position. Next, the organization and a position in the organization. A few topics that can be dealt with would be, why do you want to work for this company? See, everybody has a dream company in mind, or there are certain goals that you have in mind, and the company also might have the same kind of goals, right? So try to think about things and the working of people in a particular company. See, every organization has its own working style. So to try to look into that style and see whether your work, way of working, your manner of working fits into the style of the working of this organization. Or even if it does not fit, are you willing to change your way of working? Are you willing to make changes in your methods and ways of working so that you may fit in with the organization? All right, these are a few things that you can give a thought to. Then, as I said, communication is a two-way process. It's not a one-way process, it's a two-way process. So the candidate should ask questions. So what kind of questions should you ask? Remember, here you are not supposed to ask any financial questions. You are not been selected for the job, you are just getting a chance to prove your ability to do that job. So here the question that you can ask is, you can ask about your job role. You may also ask about types of training that the company provides, the types of opportunities that a company provides, and you may also ask them how the company differs from its competitors. You may also ask how the company differs from its competitors. Okay, this will help you know whether this is the company that you are looking for or not. Next, close and follow up. Now see, as I told, it's not 100% sure that you will get the job. Okay, it's just a chance to prove your capabilities to people in that particular company, trying to prove and tell that you are one of a kind of a person and you could be helpful to their company. So what happens in a close up and close and follow up? What happens is they thank you for giving your time. The people will thank you for the interview. Plus, they will now have this position or this time. After thanking you, you move out of the room, and then what happens is this is actually the time they will take to evaluate your performance and try to find out whether they'll be able to recruit you or not. Now, here it is very important. Remember, this question is also very important from the exam point of view in case of an MCQ exam. Sorry. That the interviewer should always send a thank you note or an email, a thank you note or an email within 24 hours of the interview. Now, what will this thank you note or email contain? This thank you note or email should contain in how many days will they reply, whether you have been able to successfully clear the interview or they have selected somebody else and you did not get a chance. Okay. So why? Because they are not the only companies who are going to employ you or hire you. There would be other companies, and if they inform you priorly, it is easier for you to take decisions about appearing for interviews for other companies or not. Next, a few tips for successful interviewing. Think like an employer and not like an interviewee. Think like an interviewer. Think think in a way, if you were to hire somebody, if you were supposed to hire somebody, how would you look into, or what kind of skills would you look into? Remember, you should not criticize anybody. It creates a negative impression. Be aware of illegal or controversial questions. Maintain professionalism even if your employee does not. What I mean to say by maintaining professionalism, I mean to say you should not allow the employer or the questioner to ask you questions that are pertaining to your personal life. So why are you still not married, or does your family have a business, and if your family has a business, why do you intend to join us? This is being personal. You cannot ask. It has nothing to do with your personal life, right? The employer is not supposed to indulge into question and answers from your personal life. They may ask you questions from your professional sections of your life but not personal life. So remember, if they are not being professional, you still stick to professionalism. You should not miss out on the professional part of it. Okay, you should still maintain your professional decorum and you should work with that only. Next, sometimes the entire problem with us is we do not expect a question and it hits us like a bouncer. So always be prepared that you are human beings. Even though you have made the best preparation in life, sometimes you might be there might be a time when you will be facing a bouncer or a question that you never expected to come in that interview. Right? That's fine. It is okay. Always think it in a positive note. Try to look at it as a question that came from nowhere, but it is fine. It happens with everybody. It's not that it is happening only with you, right? It has happened with many people and it is happening with you. All the things are similar in that case. Okay? In that case, when things are happening, it might have happened with somebody, it is again happening with you. It should not be a problem to you in that case. Why it should not be a problem? But because there is nothing new into it. Sometimes unexpected questions do come along our way. It comes along with everybody, it has come along with you as well. The next thing that you should look into and be prepared is you should be well groomed. By well grooming, we mean neat and clean dressing, hairstyle, accessories, perfume, shoes, etc. You do not want their attention to shift from your voice or your answers to anything else, be it accessory, perfume, shoes, clothing, hairstyle, etc. Remember, always remember, I have been repeatedly saying that communication is a two-way process. So never ever just leave the interviewing hall without asking any questions. You are supposed to ask questions. Remember, this interview has been scheduled. You know very well beforehand, and the person who is taking the interview also has a good idea about it, that this has been pre-scheduled. So never ever have a shortcut of answering questions in only yes and no. Interviews are meant for on length answers. Neither are you in a rush to go anywhere, nor the person who is taking the interview has a rush or a hurry to move anywhere else. Right? So be considerate enough to answer questions more than yes and no. You are supposed to answer it more than yes and no. Why? Because this is a special time that both of you have taken out, and you are supposed to be there to answer things thoroughly. Right? You are not supposed to just answer with a small yes and a no. Right? That is one of the important things that you should note. Always be positive about the interview. Right? Negativity should not be there. As I said, you should carry a positive aura around and with you. Also remember that interview does not start when you are asked the first question. The interview starts the moment you step into the interview room. Okay, your interview will start the very moment you step into the interview room. It does not just start when you start giving the answers. Remember, we have been talking a lot about body language. We have been talking a lot about body language, right? So the moment you knock the door and you enter the interview room, your interview has already started. So it's not about performing after you enter the room, it's performing from the very beginning. So here we have a reconnecting question. The candidate should not maintain professionalism if the employer does not. Is the statement true or false? You may type your answers in the chat box. Excellent, excellent work. You're absolutely correct. You have been listening carefully. The answer is false over here. So these are the 5 things. It's just a little summarization or conclusion of the things that you should notice in your interview. 1, dress appropriately. 2, arrive in good time because you don't want to rush into things. 3, your body language should be positive. Avoid all kind of negative body language. 4, expect the unexpected. Sometimes it could be a question out of the blue. That is absolutely fine. You should always look into it. And lastly, do not forget to answer the questions. Lastly, do not forget to answer the questions. You are supposed to answer the questions. Okay. And not only answer the questions, you are also supposed to ask the questions. Right. So please look into it also as asking the questions. These are a little do's and don'ts of interview. We have been discussing it over a period of time now. Right, throughout the entire presentation, we have been discussing this. So you may read it. I'll give you a few minutes to read the same. Fine. I hope you have read the same. Do not worry, I'll be uploading the PPTs to the Institute e-content, and I'll also be uploading them in the Google shared folder that we have made for our class. Right? You'll find it there as well. So I'll move on to the next slide. So these are a few references that I have used. That I have used. Do we have any doubts? The session for different types of questions and how to answer different questions in interview, there's a different session on it. There's a theory part that we need to learn and understand, and then we have an entire other session for the practical aspect. So right now I'm asking about whether you have understood the theory or not. Fine, then as a part of our every session we have uh, a quiz. So I'll help you with the quiz link. Just give me a moment. I'll give you the quiz link in a minute. There you go. You have the quiz for today. Your time for this quiz starts now. You've got 5 minutes to attempt the quiz. Excellent. 5 of you have already completed the quiz. I can notice that. Right? That's good job done. Very good. Almost all the class, the entire class has completed the quiz. Did we have any difficult question in the quiz? A question that you found little confusing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can ask me that question so that we can discuss over it.
Ma'am, the last question that candidate must not question an in interview.
Yeah, the answer is false. Remember, towards the end of the presentation, we had that communication in an interview is a two-way process. So candidate should and he must ask a question. And we have also discussed the types of question that a candidate should ask. You should ask about your job profile. You should ask about the kind of training that you will get. You should ask about the work that you have to do, etc. That's why the answer for that question would be a false. That must not ask questions. No, he should and he must ask questions. Right? Now, what you are supposed to do, as I said, we need to discuss a few questions related to interviews. Madam, what if question 1 is asked? How will we answer it? So, what your job is to do, everybody from the class is supposed to identify three questions related to a job interview that we can discuss what can the answer be like. Now, where will you put these three questions? You are supposed to write these three questions, upload a document in our shared Google folder. You create a new document in our shared Google folder so that I can have a look at the questions. I'll combine all the questions, and for the next session, we'll be discussing how to answer interview questions. Right? That's next in line. How to answer interview questions is what we are going to discuss. Remember, questions like introduce yourself, do not take that as one of the three questions that is already there. I'll be helping you out with that. Right? Apart from that, you are supposed to note down any three questions per student. So everybody needs to have at least three questions, and you have to upload it before Saturday so that I can have a look at it, and then how can we discuss it and what can be the various answers to it. Right? I hope I'm making myself clear. Now let's take the attendance. While you were attempting your quiz, I've already taken the attendance, so I'll speak out the absent numbers, and you can tell me whether it's your number is there or not. So enrollment number 1, where I'm talking about the absent numbers. Enrollment number 1, 19. These are the two people who are absent in today's session. Enrollment number 1 and enrollment number 19. Right? They are not there. Excellent. By
Five
Saturday,
present, madam.
1 and 19. These are the two absent numbers. All right, it means the others are present. So I hope the instruction is clear. You are supposed to upload 3 questions in our Google shared folder. You have to put 3 questions there related to interviews which we wish to discuss the answer for. Okay. Fine, class. We end the session on this note. Thank you. Have yourself a very nice day. Thank you, class.